most desperate hour. Help me.
The Old Republic.
You're my only hope.
Star Wars The Old Republic is a wealth of untapped stories that could serve as the launching point for a brand new Star Wars trilogy, as well as other projects. As far as movies are concerned, The Old Republic may be Disney's only hope for the future of Star Wars movies. Hey guys, what's going on? With all the Star Wars content that has been announced, there has never been a more exciting time to be a Star Wars fan. However, even with all the shows that were announced to be coming out on Disney Plus in the coming years, there was a disturbing lack of content for the big screen. In fact, only 2 movies were even talked about during the Disney investors meeting: Rogue Squadron, a movie that's directed by Patty Jenkins and is set to premiere in December of 2023, and then an unnamed movie written and directed by Taika Waititi that has no release date as of yet and really no details about what it'll even be about. Now, don't get me wrong, I love what is going on with Star Wars right now. The Mandalorian Season 2 just ended and it was amazing. I'm looking forward to all the shows that were announced like, Kenobi, The Bad Batch, The Acolyte, and, all the others. But Star Wars' main draw, its main focus, has always been on the big screen, in the theater, making and producing movies. So honestly, I was, really disappointed to see only 2 official movies announced. But I wasn't surprised. Disney and Lucasfilm are still walking on eggshells after what happened with the sequel trilogy and Solo and, how they kind of underperformed at the box office. They want their next films to be safe and to make them money, hence the reason why they're making something like Rogue Squadron. A fun, energetic Star Wars movie that will bring in crowds and really not upset anyone. However, unless Lucasfilm wants to keep making shows and then completely forget the movie side of their business, then they're going to need to go back to the style that they are best known for, and that is making trilogies. But what could they do? They're not going to make a trilogy about Rey, the fabled episodes 10, 11, and 12. At least not yet. The sequels are still fresh on everyone's mind, and if they came out with those movies right now, I think that people would feel like it would be overkill as far as focusing too much on the sequel era of Star Wars. Plus, with all the controversy that surrounded the sequels, whether you like them or not, I don't think Disney wants to take that risk and put a bunch of money into a new trilogy that isn't going to 100% perform better at the box office than the sequel trilogies did. So they're probably not going to make episodes 10, 11, and 12, at least not yet. So what could they do? If only there was some untapped era of Star Wars, just full of diverse and intricate stories, characters that could not only unite the fandom but bring in a ton of money and then become, fan favorites. If only there was this era where it was so far back in the past that really you could do whatever you want and it wouldn't break the canon because it's so far back. If only. Oh wait, there is. The Old Republic era of Star Wars easily has enough material to cover several trilogies and expand into other areas of content, whether that be books, comics, video games, other spin-off shows, other movies, whatever. There is so much there. But before we get into how awesome the Old Republic is, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more Star Wars content. Now, let's get into today's video. So the Old Republic era of Star Wars takes place from about 25,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, and that's when the Republic was founded, until about 1,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, when the new Sith Wars ended and Darth Bane established the Rule of Two. So that is about 24,000 years worth of storytelling, all of it somewhat disconnected from the Skywalker saga, meaning that this can be a completely different type of storytelling that doesn't involve the Skywalkers at all, and really focuses on new characters, new destinations, new everything. I mean, it's just a completely different type of storytelling. Instead of 2 Sith Lords, there are thousands, and they are constantly waging war against the Jedi. There are so many conflicts, from the Mandalorian Wars, the Jedi Schisms, the Great Hyperspace War, just to name a few. Not to mention all the characters that are there. You have one of the most complicated and popular characters ever in Darth Revan. Not to mention others like Malak, Kreia, Bastila, Nihilus, Scion, Lord Scourge, Kira Carson, Arkin, Valen, Mission Vale, and literally hundreds of others. And of course, the only Dark Lord of the Sith, in my opinion, who can rival and even beat Darth Sidious, and that is the Eternal Emperor, also known as Vitiate, Tenebrae, or Valkorion, depending on who you ask. but he's kind of the big baddie behind the whole thing during this Old Republic era of Star Wars. He's one of the greatest and most powerful villains of all time. It can be darker, delve deeper into the lore of Star Wars, and give us some of the best Star Wars stories ever. And with Disney and Lucasfilm admittedly wanting to move away from the Skywalker saga and explore different areas of that galaxy far, far away, the Old Republic is literally the perfect place for them to begin anew. Not only could they make a trilogy based off of the Knights of the Old Republic video games, they could also make several shows and other movies that could all blend together, very similar to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And because it is so far back from the Skywalker saga, they can really do whatever they want and it won't affect the main story of Star Wars. We don't have to worry about them ruining any characters because those characters aren't even a thought right now. You know, it's thousands of years before they were even introduced. Star Wars movies need to come back, and come back with some force. Rogue Squadron is going to be good, and hopefully Taika Waititi's movie is good as well. However, in order to get back to the movie superpower that they once were, they need to give us more than just one and done movies. We need trilogies, and good trilogies at that. So while I was disappointed with the lack of love for the Old Republic era of Star Wars, I'm hoping that Disney will realize that they have this great opportunity in front of them. Now, will the Old Republic ever even happen? Well, I sure hope so. There was talk a few years ago, before Solo came out, that Lucasfilm was developing an Old Republic trilogy and that David Benioff and D.B. Weiss were going to be the ones heading up the show. However, they then left a Star Wars trilogy, because of some creative differences, and went on to go work on some Netflix project. They chose Netflix over Star Wars. Whatever, doesn't even matter. They ruined Game of Thrones anyway. Anyway, so then the project idea moved into the hands of Leta Kalogridis. I think I'm saying that right. Leta Kalogridis. Whatever. She worked on Avatar and Shutter Island, so obviously she's a capable filmmaker. And she was writing the script and apparently had a lot of it done when Disney came out and said that us Star Wars fans were suffering from Star Wars fatigue. And you know what? They're right. I'm glad they're, taking this slow approach and only giving us a little bit of Star Wars at a time because, truth be told, we are really fatigued. Yeah, just kidding. Give us all the Star Wars you can. I want to watch a new thing every day. What are you talking about? Star Wars fatigue. I don't think that exists. So the project was scrapped, or at least the Old Republic was put on hold. Now, my hope is that once everything crazy going on in the world is over and, all the movie theaters are back open and everything, that they will announce more Star Wars movies, and one of them will be something regarding the Old Republic era of Star Wars. And if they don't, well, then we could always come together as fans and just buy Lucasfilm. If we all pitch in, I'm sure that we can come up with the money, and then we can just, make whatever we want. Star Wars The Old Republic is Lucasfilm's only hope in creating successful and money-making Star Wars trilogies again. I hope that they know this, and put it into action sooner rather than later. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And if you liked what you saw today, go ahead and subscribe for more Star Wars content. And remember to forever be a Star Wars fan.